What's up, guys? Ace Chapman here with Valentina again, and I want to do a video outside today because it's absolutely gorgeous here in El Poblado. It's been raining like crazy, so I figured I would do the video from the balcony. Today's video, though, I want to do on timing, and when it comes to deals, it's really obvious that timing makes a really big difference. This was top of mind after the Anthony Joshua fight, where Andy Ruiz came out of nowhere and won that fight, and that was kind of the big story. But for me as a deal maker, what was more interesting were the behind-the-scenes deals that led up to this fight. Now, what a lot of people aren't aware of is that Anthony Joshua's team had approached Andy Ruiz and tried to get a fight over a year ago. So they wanted to get a fight done just over a year ago, and they were going to pay Andy $40,000. And rightfully so, Andy denied the deal. But, you know, it seems like now in hindsight that was a good choice. But for him, you know, it was a very big deal to turn down because this was his chance to win the title and make a name for himself against this big name fighter. Nobody outside of like heavy boxer enthusiasts knew who he was. And so this was his chance to make a big splash on the scene. And, you know, yeah, he only gets $40,000 this time, but, you know, it could lead them getting a lot more money later. But after talking it over with his team, he decided, you know, we're going to just pass on this and hope that we get this chance kind of on the international stage at a later point. So he walked away from that deal, and it was obviously the biggest and best decision of his life, because here we are a year later after that $40,000 offer, and he ended up being offered $5 million. Now, here's the crazy thing is, yeah, the comparison is obvious. I mean, this guy got a huge payday, almost 100 times like what he would have gotten otherwise. But what Anthony Joshua got was about $15 million. So he lost the fight, still ended up with $15 million. And so that shows, you know, when you're bringing the name to the fight, that's an obvious thing. And it's the same thing in deal making. You know, people today will give up a lot just to make a deal with a guy like Warren Buffett. You know, when Icon walks into a room because of the name that he has, he's going to end up with a lot better terms than somebody without his name. So obviously, Joshua got the better end of the deal because he lost a fight and still made more money. But Ruiz was only going to get $40,000 and ended up with $5 million. And when I think about some of the deals that I've made, one of which is in crypto. So I sold a business, and this has been a while back, and I was just having lunch with some folks. We're talking crypto. I'm in the process of introducing the crypto, and it's going to be very, very cool. So obviously, we'll talk more about that later. But for all you budding deal makers that want to be able to leverage crypto in your deal making, you're going to love this project that we're going to be introducing. So the interesting thing was I was negotiating a deal, and I basically had an opportunity to get Bitcoin instead of some cash. The guy had a lot of Bitcoin and, you know, essentially wanted to sell wanted to buy the business and give me crypto, give me Bitcoin. And, you know, at that point, I had no idea where things were going to go. But I'm like, hey, if I can get more money in Bitcoin than I can get in cash, then, you know, I got a little bit of protection there. I want some exposure in space. I'm a very big fan of what crypto represents in the financial industry and the future that it has. And so I took that deal. Well, fast forward, you know, we obviously saw a huge run up, and then we saw it go down, and I decided to hold on to it. We've seen another run up again. And that was one of those cases where I got to sell a business, and even as of today, I got paid 5 times what I would have gotten paid otherwise because I negotiated that crypto deal. Now, when you compare that to people who took payment when crypto was hot and it was trading at $15,000, $16,000, $17,000, those folks are now at a point where they've got half of the money that they could have sold for cash. And so it really comes down to timing. And it's, you know, I brought up Warren Buffett earlier. It has a lot to do with what he says. It's like, you know, this is another one of those times. Crypto isn't really hype. You know, these are the times that you want to get into stuff. It's not when there's a tremendous amount of hype. You know, I was glad that I did it. I took that deal before there was a tremendous amount of hype. So when it comes to deal making, no matter what you're doing, consider the timing. Is there a better time if you wait on closing a deal? Is it better to negotiate now and try to close something with different terms? Is it better to maybe take what could have been a loss? I mean, I could have taken that big one and went down and it didn't work out. So you want to consider the timing, and in most cases, you really want to do the opposite of what other folks are doing. If most people, like right now, are running away from crypto, it's probably a good time to start to play in the space. You know, right now, when it comes to buying internet businesses, even though it seems like more people are interested than ever before, it's just because there's a new thing. The average person in the marketplace has no idea anything to do with buying and selling internet-based businesses. So keep all of that in mind when it comes to timing. Thanks so much for watching the video. Be sure to comment below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for the love you guys give, support, and the comments and the questions. And I got two comments that have come in that are going to be my next subjects on videos. So if you got questions, be sure to put them below, and I do make videos to answer those. Thanks so much, guys.